Welcome to Gifts for Life. Let's be honest, we've all had moments when someone crosses the line. Maybe they interrupt you mid-sentence, toss out a sarcastic remark that stings, or treat your time and feelings like they're disposable. And in those moments, you're left standing there, wondering, do I just smile and let it slide, or do I need to do something to protect myself? If you're tired of shrugging it off and pretending it doesn't bother you, then stick around. Today, I want to share 5 simple but powerful ways to deal with disrespect, methods inspired by the wisdom of Stoicism. These aren't about fighting back or losing your cool. Instead, they're about standing your ground, setting clear boundaries, and showing up for yourself with grace and strength. Before we jump in, I want you to think about something. Why do people act this way? Sometimes, it's unintentional. They don't realize how their words or actions affect others. Other times, it's just bad habits, thoughtlessness, plain and simple. And then there are those who do it deliberately, pushing your buttons because they want to test your patience or undermine your worth. But here's what I want you to remember: staying silent and letting it happen isn't the solution. When you allow disrespect to continue, it's like letting weeds take over the garden of your mind. Eventually, those weeds choke out your peace, your confidence, and your joy. Now, I'm not here to tell you to get even or lash out. Revenge might feel satisfying in the moment, but it's a quick fire that burns out fast, and leaves you feeling even more drained. Instead, the real solution is learning how to protect yourself without losing your peace. It's about setting quiet, firm boundaries that make it clear where you stand. When you do that, you're sending a powerful message to the world: I know my worth, and I respect myself enough to defend it. And let's be clear, boundaries aren't walls. They're not there to push people away or isolate yourself. Instead, they're gentle but unmistakable lines that let others know how you expect to be treated. They say, I'm here. I'm calm. But I won't tolerate being disrespected. By the time we're done here, I hope you'll see that responding to disrespect with grace isn't weak. It's one of the strongest, most empowering things you can do. So, let's get into it. Here are 5 Stoic-inspired ways to handle disrespect, so you can walk through life with your head high, your heart calm, and your spirit unshaken. Solution 1: let silence be your answer. Sometimes, in conversations, silence can be your most powerful move. It might sound simple, like you're not reacting, but in reality, it's so much deeper than that. When someone throws insults, makes snide remarks, or comes at you with their negativity, your first instinct might be to fire back. And sure, arguing or proving yourself right might feel satisfying for a moment, but soon after, you'll realize just how much emotional and mental energy you've spent. The truth is, people who disrespect you are often like a flame. They want to drag you into their chaos, fuel the fire of their negativity, and make you lose your cool. But when you choose silence, you're pulling all the oxygen from that flame. Without your reaction, they have nothing left to feed on. The fire burns out. Now, let's be clear, silence doesn't mean you're weak or that you're allowing someone to walk all over you. It's about staying in control of the conversation and your peace of mind. It's about choosing not to waste your energy where it's not deserved. So, how do you master the power of silence in these moments? First, focus on their intention. When someone criticizes you or throws a verbal jab, pause and ask yourself, why are they saying this? Are they trying to tear me down? If the answer is yes, then fighting back only gives them exactly what they want, a reaction. Silence, on the other hand, denies them that satisfaction. You don't have to join them in their negativity. Second, create a pause. After they say something disrespectful, don't rush to defend yourself. Instead, let the moment sit there. You can nod subtly or shrug, but don't explain, justify, or argue. That awkward silence. It's theirs to deal with, not yours. You'll find it leaves them more uncomfortable than you could ever imagine. Third, shift the focus. You don't need to make a big show of not responding. Instead, calmly change the subject or start talking to someone else, as if their words were so insignificant, they didn't even register. Your silence becomes a message, your negativity doesn't affect me. I remember a time when I had a friend who liked to push boundaries with his jokes. Every time we hung out, he'd cross the line, turning his teasing into hurtful, sarcastic comments. One day, he made a comment about my personal life, and instead of snapping back or explaining myself, I just looked at him. I raised an eyebrow, stayed silent, and didn't let my face change. I didn't argue. I didn't flinch. And suddenly, the whole vibe shifted. He got uncomfortable, stumbled over his words, and quickly moved on to a new topic. After that, he never tried those jokes with me again. I think he realized I wasn't someone who could be pulled into his little games. That's the power of silence. It's not just a lack of words, it's a statement. It doesn't invite more negativity or give them another chance to attack. It allows you to protect your energy while forcing the other person to sit with what they've said. And whether they admit it or not, they'll think twice next time. So, remember this, silence isn't weakness. It's the quiet strength of someone who knows their worth and refuses to let others shake them. When you don't react, you're not avoiding the situation, you're owning it. And sometimes, the loudest thing you can say is absolutely nothing at all. Solution 2, keep your distance. Personal boundaries are essential in every relationship. When someone repeatedly disrespects you, through snide remarks, dismissive behavior, or outright disregard, it's a clear sign that they don't value you. In situations like this, sometimes the best solution is to create space. Now, keeping your distance doesn't mean cutting someone off completely or harboring resentment. It simply means setting limits on how much access they have to your time, energy, and mind. It's about protecting your peace and mental well-being. For those of us who come from cultures that emphasize family loyalty or long-standing friendships, this can feel tricky. In places like Vietnam or many parts of Asia, relationships often take priority, and stepping back might be seen as selfish. But here's what you need to remember, respect is a two-way street. If someone only brings you hurt and negativity, creating space isn't selfish, it's wise. It's a way to maintain a healthy environment where you can care for yourself and honor your worth. The first step to keeping your distance is identifying why it's necessary. Take an honest look at the relationship and ask yourself how this person has been affecting you. Is their behavior constant and draining, not just a one-time thing? If the answer is yes, it's time to make a change. The next step is to reduce interaction naturally and gradually. There's no need to make a dramatic announcement like, "I don't want to see you anymore." Instead, slowly ease back. Maybe you used to see them every week, shift that to once a month. If you're constantly texting or calling, start limiting it to what's absolutely necessary. When you do this calmly and consistently, the relationship will naturally adjust itself. But what if you can't avoid them? Maybe it's a family member, a coworker, or someone in your friend group. In those cases, practice emotional distance. Don't let their behavior get under your skin or invade your mind. Stay focused on what matters to you, and keep your cool when you're around them. It's not about ignoring them, it's about not giving them control over your emotions. I remember a time when I had a friend who constantly criticized everything about me, from my work to my relationships, even my taste in music. At first, I brushed it off, thinking, that's just how they are. But over time, I realized how exhausted and stressed I felt every time we hung out. So I made a quiet decision, I started seeing them less. No big confrontation, no explanations. I just shifted from seeing them weekly to maybe once a month. And you know what? The difference was incredible. I felt lighter. I had more energy to focus on relationships that brought me joy and support. Eventually, this friend noticed the change and asked me about it. I decided to be honest and said, "I don't feel respected when I'm around you." To my surprise, they actually listened and started adjusting their behavior. While the friendship never returned to what it once was, the positive shift was enough for me. Here's something you need to remember: not everyone deserves a VIP seat in your life. Creating space doesn't make you selfish or cold, it means you're prioritizing your mental health and emotional well-being. Society, and sometimes even family, might pressure you to just deal with it, but you don't have to sacrifice your peace to please others. Protecting your energy doesn't mean you're abandoning anyone, it simply means you're choosing yourself first. At the end of the day, your mental health matters. When you feel happy, strong, and confident, you'll have so much more to give to the people who truly deserve your love, time, and energy. So don't be afraid to take that step back. It's not distance, it's self-respect. Solution 3, the silent stare. When someone disrespects you, whether it's an insult, a snide remark, or an attempt to provoke you, your natural instinct might be to snap back. To argue. To prove them wrong. But sometimes, the most powerful response isn't words at all. It's silence, paired with a calm, steady stare. It might sound too subtle, almost too simple. But this is a deeply psychological strategy that carries a surprising amount of power. You see, people who attack or criticize you are looking for a reaction. They want to pull you into their negativity, to push your buttons, to get you to lose your cool so they can control the narrative. But when you meet their disrespect with a calm, silent stare, steady, grounded, and free of fear, the balance of power shifts completely. In that moment, it's like you're holding up a mirror to their behavior, forcing them to see themselves for what they really are. They're no longer in control of the situation, you are. Your silence sends a message that speaks louder than any words: I will not play your game. I know my worth, and I will not let you disrupt my peace. So how do you master the silent stare? It comes down to 3 key steps. First, calm yourself from within. Before you even look at the person, take a deep breath and center yourself. Slow your heart rate. Settle your emotions. This will help your expression remain natural, unshaken, and composed, because the power of the stare comes from your inner steadiness. Second, hold steady eye contact. Look directly into their eyes for just a few seconds. Your gaze should be soft but firm, unforced, unflinching, and unthreatening. You're not trying to intimidate them, you're simply showing them that you are unaffected and unbothered. Third, say nothing. Don't interrupt, don't defend yourself, and don't fill the silence. This is the hardest part but also the most powerful. Your silence will create an awkward gap, one that they have to sit with. That space forces them to confront their own behavior without the distraction of an argument. I remember a family gathering where one relative had a habit of criticizing everything. The food, the decorations, even the stories people shared, he always found something to pick apart. One day, he decided to target me, making a few snarky remarks in front of everyone. Normally, I would have jumped to my defense, maybe tried to explain myself or laugh it off. But this time, I tried something different. I simply turned, looked at him, and stayed quiet. My expression was calm and neutral, my gaze steady. I didn't say a word. After about 10 seconds, though it felt much longer, he started stumbling over his words. His confidence faded, and he eventually stopped talking altogether. For the rest of the evening, he didn't say another negative word. One silent stare was all it took to shut it down. No argument, no anger, just quiet, unshakable presence. The beauty of the silent stare is that it doesn't waste your energy. You don't get pulled into negativity or dragged into a pointless back and forth. Instead, you keep your peace, while making it crystal clear that you will not tolerate disrespect. So the next time someone tries to push your buttons, remember this: the most powerful response isn't always a loud one. A calm, silent stare says everything you need to say without you having to utter a single word. It's not about being passive, it's about being in control. And that's true power. Solution 4, hold your head high. Picture someone standing tall, head up, shoulders back, eyes looking forward. It's not just a posture, it's a powerful statement of self-respect and inner worth. When someone disrespects you, their goal is often to make you feel small, to diminish your confidence, or to make you doubt yourself. And sometimes, without even realizing it, you might shrink back, your head drops, your shoulders slump, and it's as if you're unconsciously accepting that blow. But when you choose to hold your head high, to stand tall with a calm, unshakable presence, you're sending a silent but clear message: I know my worth. You can't take me down unless I let you. Many people underestimate body language, dismissing it as something superficial. But the truth is, how you carry yourself reflects, and reinforces, your inner strength. People who disrespect you want to see you stumble. They want you to look defeated, insecure, and shaken. But when you remain calm, steady, and composed, you've already won. You're showing them that no matter what they say or do, they can't control you. So how do you put this into practice? First, your posture and body language need to radiate confidence. Stand tall. Keep your back straight, your shoulders relaxed but open, and your gaze steady. When you're talking to someone, look them in the eye. Don't avert your gaze, because when you face someone directly, it says you're not afraid. This posture doesn't just affect how others see you, it also strengthens your mindset, reminding you that you're grounded and in control. Second, remind yourself of your value. Your worth isn't determined by someone else's words or opinions. The next time you feel yourself starting to shrink, repeat a simple phrase in your mind: I am enough. I deserve respect. No one can make me doubt myself. That little reminder can work wonders in helping you stay centered and confident, no matter the situation. Third, project calm confidence, not arrogance. You don't need to puff out your chest or challenge the person with a confrontational attitude. Instead, stay composed, steady, and grounded. When you respond this way, you'll catch them off guard. The person who tried to tear you down will quickly realize that they can't shake you like they thought they could. I remember a time when a colleague tried to undermine me in a meeting. In front of the entire team, he criticized my idea and even laughed as if it were ridiculous. For a moment, I felt the urge to lash out or shrink back, but instead, I chose to hold my ground. I sat up straight, looked him in the eye, and calmly said, "This is my perspective, and it's backed by data, A, B, and C. I'm happy to dive deeper into it if you'd like. And if you have a different take, I'm open to hearing it." The room went quiet. The calm in my voice and the way I carried myself made it clear that I wasn't intimidated or shaken. That moment changed everything. Not only did the rest of the team take me seriously, but that colleague backed off, and his tone shifted in meetings after that. It wasn't what I said, it was how I said it. My body language spoke louder than words, and it told everyone in that room that I was confident and unshakable. Here's the thing: your physical posture and mental state go hand in hand. When you hold your head high, you're telling the world, and more importantly, yourself, that you are worthy of respect. When others see confidence and steadiness in your gaze, in your voice, and in the way you carry yourself, they'll think twice before trying to tear you down. So don't let anyone make you feel small. Don't let their words or actions cause you to doubt yourself. Stand tall. Walk with confidence. Hold your head high and know this: you are enough. You are strong. And no one gets to take away your dignity unless you allow it. Solution 5: stop explaining your choices. In life, we all make personal decisions, whether it's chasing a dream, changing careers, or walking away from a relationship. And when we do, there's always someone who shows up with questions, judgments, and doubts. Why would you do that? Is it worth it? Are you sure you're making the right choice? Some people ask because they care and genuinely want to understand. But let's be real, many others just want a reason to criticize. They're looking for cracks in your logic so they can tell you that you're wrong, that you're naive, or that you're making a mistake. The truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to live your life. Your decisions are yours to make, and you're the one who will live with the consequences, good or bad. The more you try to justify yourself to people who don't truly care, the more drained you'll feel. Worse yet, over-explaining gives them permission to judge you and weigh in on something that isn't their business. Never forget, other people don't get a say in your life's direction. So how do you practice this? Start by recognizing the value of your decisions. Ask yourself, why did I make this choice? What does it mean to me? Once you're clear on your own motivations, you won't feel the need to chase anyone else's approval. You'll trust yourself enough to stand firm, no matter what they think. When someone questions you, keep your response short and calm. Say something simple like, because I want to, or, this is what feels right for me right now. You don't owe anyone a detailed explanation or a 10-point plan for your future. The more you explain, the more you open yourself up to pointless debates, and you might even start to second-guess yourself. It's also important to accept that not everyone will support you, and that's okay. The people who genuinely respect you don't need an explanation. They trust your choices because they trust you. But those who are only looking to criticize, the less you say, the less fuel you give them. Remember, you're not here to make everyone happy. I'll share a personal story. There was a time in my life when I decided to leave my stable office job to pursue content creation, something I'd been passionate about for years but also knew was risky. As soon as I made the announcement, the questions started pouring in. Why would you throw that away? Are you crazy? Don't you care about stability? At first, I tried to explain myself. I talked about my plans, my passion, and my long-term vision. But the more I explained, the more skeptical they became. That sounds unrealistic. You're taking a big risk. Their doubts drained me. I felt like I was constantly defending myself, and for what? So I stopped. The next time someone asked me why I made the change, I simply said, because I want to try. That was it. And you know what? The conversation ended there. When I stopped justifying myself, they stopped picking my choices apart. Here's the thing, everyone is on their own journey. Your dreams, your priorities, and your values are yours, and yours alone. No one else fully understands them, and that's okay. Don't waste your precious energy explaining yourself to people who aren't really listening or who just want to criticize. Instead, hold on to your confidence. Put your energy into the choices you believe in and the future you want to create. At the end of the day, you don't need anyone else's permission to live your life. Trust yourself. Stay focused. And let your actions speak louder than words. Ladies and gentlemen, life is a long journey filled with countless choices. At some point, you might make a bold decision, whether it's pursuing your passion, changing careers, or walking away from a relationship that no longer serves you. And when you do, you'll face questioning looks, probing questions, and even judgment from others. But let me remind you, you don't owe anyone an explanation for how you choose to live your life. Your decisions are yours, and you are the one responsible for them. Don't let outside voices make you doubt yourself. Stay calm, confident, and grounded. When you're firm in your choices and clear on your path, you won't need anyone else's approval. Instead of wasting your energy explaining yourself, focus it on what truly matters: meaningful relationships, important dreams, and the goals you're chasing. We can't control what others think or say, but we can always control how we respond. Sometimes, choosing not to over-explain is the most powerful response of all. When you walk your path with a steady heart and unshakable self-respect, life feels so much lighter. Because deep down, you know that you are the author of your own story, and no one else has the right to write it for you. So keep moving forward. Trust yourself and your decisions. If people support you, that's wonderful. And if they don't, that's just part of life, something you'll learn to accept. What matters most is that you remain at peace, confident in who you are and where you're headed, because you are the only one who gets to decide your happiness. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If you found value in these reflections, don't forget to hit like, share this video, and subscribe to Gifts for Life so you won't miss future content. By doing so, you're also helping to spread these positive messages to even more people. If you have thoughts or stories to share about your own journey, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. As always, I'll leave you with this wish: may you stay strong, confident, and happy on your life's journey. Live a life you can be proud of, one where every choice is rooted in your values and the dreams that matter most to you. Take care, stay peaceful, and I'll see you in the next video.